Imagine a lands between never torn by war. A world where grace never fled. A place where the Elden Ring stands unbroken. What if the shattering never happened? Welcome to Fractured Canon, where a single change to known stories reshapes whole worlds. Today, we explore a single question. What if the Elden Ring was never shattered? In the original tale, the Elden Ring, the source of order in the lands between, was broken, leading to chaos and war. But imagine this, the ring remains whole. What becomes of the world, of grace, of those who seek power? At the center of the lands between sat the Elden Ring, not merely an object, but the law that governed reality. Through it, life was structured, death was restrained, and grace flowed like light through chosen souls. From that radiance rose the Erd Tree, towering above the realm, as both symbol and instrument of that divine design. Long before the war that would consume the realm, there came a night remembered only in whispers. The Night of Black Knives. Under its shadow, assassins wielding stolen fragments of the Rune of Death struck at the heart of the Golden lineage. Godwyn the Golden fell, his soul slain while his body yet lived, the first demigod to truly perish. That wound did not fade. It spread. The death of Godwyn shattered something deeper than bloodline. It destabilized the very foundation upon which the Order stood. And in the chaos that followed, Queen Marika the Eternal made a choice that would echo through eternity. She broke the Elden Ring itself. Its fragments, the great runes, scattered among her demigod children, each claiming power once bound in unity. What followed was not a single battle, but an age of war, a struggle without resolution. A conflict history would name the shattering. Even the strongest among them could not bring it to an end. Radahn, the mightiest general, and Malenia, Blade of Miquella, clashed in a duel that ended not in victory, but in devastation, their stalemate leaving the lands between scarred and broken. This is where we explore the canon fractures. Our story diverges if the Rune of Death was never stolen. Godwyn lived, and the Elden Ring remained whole. The Golden Order held firm, its grace steeped through the realm. No shattering war, no fracturing of worlds. Without the shattering, the demigods never turned against one another. Radahn remains the conqueror of the stars, but he never becomes trapped in madness. Malenia stands as a fierce protector, not a scarlet rot-infected legend. Peace, or at least order, thrives under the gaze of the intact Elden Ring. Grace continues guiding all who live. The tarnished, exiled and broken, remain beyond the sea, unheard and unseen. There's no call back to the lands between, for the world never fractured enough to need them. This implies that Marika never had larger plans for the tarnished. They were never meant to challenge the system. Simply, they were used and then discarded. Cities and kingdoms once broken by war now flourish. Limgrave's fields remain green, unscarred by conflict. Caelid never sinks into rot, its sky untainted by scarlet doom. The demigods rule not through constant war, but through counsel and balance, bound together by the unbroken ring. Grace is abundant, visible in golden eyes and warm light. Scholars and sages amass knowledge, driven not by desperation, but curiosity. The Erd Tree towers, not as a symbol of a fractured order, but as an emblem of enduring balance and unity. With the power of grace uninterrupted, the philosophy of life and death changes. Mortals no longer yearn for the title of Elden Lord. There is no chaos to end, no order to restore. Instead, cultures evolve around harmony and growth. Yet harmony, when enforced by divine certainty, breeds a quieter form of ambition. Without war to decide fate, power shifts into councils, doctrines, and interpretation of the Golden Order itself. With the lack of open conflict, factions that once schemed for power learn cooperation, at least on the surface. Beneath it, influence is traded, Truths are reshaped, and loyalty is measured not by strength, but by obedience to the correct vision of order. Conflicts are settled not by steel, but by debate and shared vision. Debates that decide who is remembered and who is quietly erased. In our original timeline, the shattering forces heroes to rise from exile, forging identity through conflict. But in this unbroken world, the lands between never needed a hero. Unity, not destruction, shapes their fate. This raises a deeper question. Was the shattering a tragedy of chaos, or a crucible that forged resilience, purpose, and the possibility of greatness? Perhaps the Elden Ring's breaking was not just a curse, but an invitation for mortals to define their own destiny. In a world unmarred by war, would ambition still exist, or would it grow in subtler ways, learn a different language, one that rules without ever drawing a blade? Would peace create wisdom, or simply systems too comfortable to challenge? Do we learn more from harmony, or from the fractures that reveal what was hidden beneath it? Every world has a story it tells, and another it tries to forget. Here, we explore the fractures, because sometimes the truth of a world is not found in what happened, but in what almost did.